All right, so um, have you ever thought about learning to draw,
Oh, yeah,
like
definitely.
actually getting good at it?
Hmm.
We're going to take a deep dive into this online course called Pencil Drawing Made Easy
Okay.
and figure out what makes it so, well, easy, supposedly.
Sounds fun.
So the guy who created this course, Nolan Clark,
Okay.
he used to think that you're either born with artistic talents
Right.
or you're not.
Like you just gotta have that natural gift.
Yeah, exactly. But then he had this like epiphany
Oh, really?
that
So
totally changed his perspective.
interesting. I think a lot of people assume that about art,
Yeah.
that it's all about talent and you can't really learn it.
Well, Clark actually shows his own progress on the website.
Oh, cool.
He's got these like, before and after drawings,
Mm-hmm.
and the difference is actually crazy.
What?
There's this one drawing of a glass of water,
Okay.
and the way he captures the light bending through the glass, like
Yeah.
creating these distorted reflections, it's really impressive.
So you went from like basic sketches to science.
Really realistic stuff
Totally.
by understanding the fundamentals.
Exactly. It's like he stopped just copying what he saw
Right.
and started actually understanding like the
Yeah.
principles of light and shadow and form.
And that's what allows you to create those,
Mm.
really captivating images.
And that seems to be like the whole point of the course.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it's not about just learning techniques.
Hmm.
It's about understanding the why behind every single stroke.
Which is so important if you want to actually improve.
Right.
It's the difference between just copying someone's style
Yeah.
and developing your own.
Totally. It's like he's giving you the tools
Yeah,
to create your own art, not just a set of instructions.
that makes sense.
And the course structure reflects that too.
Okay.
He starts with the basics,
Like what?
choosing the right pencils, shading techniques, and then he gradually gets into more complex stuff,
Okay.
like portraits.
Makes sense to start with the fundamentals.
Mm.
Yeah. And just looking at the module titles, there's
Yeah.
one that really caught my eye.
This one.
Drawing realistic eyes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like eyes are so expressive,
Right.
but capturing that realistically has always seemed so hard.
It is. Yeah. Like the eyes are supposed to be the window to the soul.
Right.
And to draw them, well, you need to understand not just the technique, but also the anatomy and how light plays on them.
I wonder if he actually gets into the anatomy of the eye, or if it's more about the artistic techniques.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah. Either way, it sounds fascinating.
Totally.
So we've got this cool backstory and a structured approach that focuses on understanding.
Right.
But I'm curious about the actual learning experience.
Me too.
How does Clark actually teach this stuff?
Yeah. What's it like to take the course?
Well, from what I've seen, it's designed for draw-along learning.
Oh, interesting.
You're not just reading text or looking at pictures.
Mm.
You're actually watching Clark draw in real time. And he explains his process as he goes.
So it's like having a personal art teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great way to learn, especially for visual learners.
Right. And he even provides downloadable templates for each lesson.
Oh, that's cool.
So you don't have to worry about getting the proportions perfect right away.
Mm.
You can just focus on practicing the techniques.
Yeah, that takes some of the pressure off.
For sure. It's like
Yeah.
he's giving you the training wheels
Right.
to get you comfortable with the bike before you take off on your own.
I like that analogy.
But it's not just about the technical skills.
Okay.
He also seems to really emphasize building confidence throughout the course.
Which is huge. I
Yeah.
mean, technical skill is important, but you also need to believe in yourself to
Exactly.
really let your creativity shine.
And confidence is contagious, you know?
That's true.
Speaking of contagious, the website has a ton of testimonials
Oh, cool.
from students who are like raving about the course.
Awesome.
There's this one quote that stood out to me.
What does it say?
This student, Bella, she said, "We have so much fun, which makes it easier to learn. And believe me, we sure have learned. You are such a wonderful teacher. You explain so much. It's a blast here."
Wow, that's a glowing review. And it sounds like Clark has created a really positive
Yeah.
and supportive learning environment.
Totally. And that can make all the difference
For sure.
when you're learning something new and challenging.
Especially something like drawing,
Yeah.
where it's easy to get discouraged.
So it sounds like we've got a course that teaches you the skills, but also helps you believe in your own artistic abilities.
Yeah, it's like a confidence booster and a skill builder all in one.
Totally. And honestly, in a world that often tells us we're not good enough,
Right.
a little bit of confidence can go a long way.
Absolutely.
Well said. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
laying the groundwork for what this course is all about. But we haven't even talked about the actual content of those modules,
True.
or the bonus content, or the price.
Or that money back guarantee you meant.
Right, exactly. But before we dive into all that,
Okay.
I'm curious, What's piqued your interest so far?
Oh, well, I'm really intrigued by
Yeah.
that draw-along format. It seems like such an effective way to learn.
Yeah, I agree. It's like
And I love the idea of those
Yeah.
downloadable templates.
Mm.
Like, taking away that fear of the blank page.
Right.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
What about you? What's standing out to you?
Honestly, I'm fascinated by the whole idea of understanding versus mimicking.
Yeah.
Like Clark's emphasis on
Mm.
really grasping the why behind the techniques.
Right.
That seems so crucial for developing your own style
Absolutely.
and not just becoming a clone of the instructor.
That's what I'm most excited to explore, too.
Awesome. Well, let's dig into those modules and see what Clark has in store for us.
Sounds good.
I'm ready to get drawing.
Me too. Let's do it. Yeah, the before and afters are pretty convincing.
Totally. It's like proof that you don't have to be born with some magical art gene.
Right? Anyone can learn.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like those modules are like the roadmap to get there.
Yeah, like a step-by-step guide.
And even starting with something as basic as choosing the right pencil
Oh, yeah, that's important.
can make a huge difference.
Totally. Like different pencils have different leads.
Right.
Some are harder, some are softer.
Hmm.
And that affects how they lay down on the paper.
Yeah, I bet he talks about erasers too.
Oh, for sure. Like those kneaded erasers.
Right.
They're great for lifting highlights.
And then there's shading, which is like
Yeah.
the foundation of pencil drawing.
Absolutely. It's what gives your drawings depth and dimension.
It's all about understanding how light interacts with the object.
Right. And how to create those highlights and shadows.
I wonder what kind of shading techniques he covers,
I bet he starts with the basics.
like hatching and cross-hatching.
Yeah. And then maybe he gets into blending,
Hmm.
using different grades of pencils to create smoother transitions.
It's like learning an instrument. You start with the basic notes and chords,
That's right.
but then there are all these techniques and nuances to master.
Totally. And practice makes perfect.
And what's cool is that he doesn't just explain it all theoretically.
Right.
You're actually watching him do it.
Yeah, the draw-along format.
Exactly. It's like having a front row seat to a master class.
And you can really see how he holds the pencil,
Yeah.
how he controls the pressure,
Mm.
how he creates those subtle blends.
And don't forget about those downloadable templates,
Oh, yeah, those are great.
especially for beginners.
Yeah, it takes away that fear of messing up the proportions.
Exactly. It's like having a safety net.
Right. You can focus on the technique without worrying about making a mistake.
And as you progress through the modules, you're not just learning individual techniques.
Okay.
You're building this whole visual vocabulary.
Like you're learning a new language.
Right. Exactly. And by the time you get to the portrait modules,
Yeah.
you've got this solid foundation to build on.
And those portraits seem like the real challenge.
Oh, yeah. It's one thing to draw a still life, but capturing a human face,
Right.
that's a whole other level.
It's like capturing someone's essence.
Totally. And it's so
Yeah.
technically demanding.
You have to understand facial anatomy,
Yeah.
proportions, the
Hmm.
interplay of light and shadow.
I wonder how he breaks it all down.
I bet he starts with a simplified structure of the head and then
Yeah.
builds up the features one by one.
So maybe he focuses on the eyes first.
Yeah, like how to create that depth and roundness,
Mm.
how to draw realistic eyelashes and eyebrows.
It's amazing how he can teach all that,
Right.
just with a pencil and paper.
It's about observation and breaking down complex subjects into manageable steps.
And once you understand those elements,
Yeah,
you can apply it to anything.
right. Whether it's a face, a landscape, a bird.
It's like you're learning to see the world with an artist's eye.
Totally, like noticing those details and shadows
Mm.
that most people miss.
And speaking of expanding your visual vocabulary,
Yeah.
let's talk about those bonus modules.
Okay.
Drawing hands, animals, hyperrealism.
So much good stuff.
I know, right? It's like he's giving you a whole art education.
It shows his commitment to his students.
Okay, so first up, drawing hands.
Yeah, those are notoriously difficult.
It's like he knew we'd be struggling with those.
Right, and he's giving us the tools to conquer them.
And then hyperrealism,
Oh, wow, that's next level stuff.
like creating drawings that look like photographs.
It's all about precision and detail.
Wonder what kind of techniques he teaches for that.
I bet it's a lot of blending and layering. Maybe some specialized erasers for creating textures.
This sounds intense.
Yeah, for those who really want to push their skills.
And then there's the module on drawing birds.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's like a nice change of pace from the portraits.
Right.
He starts with a seagull,
Okay.
which is a pretty common bird.
Yeah, easy to find for reference.
And then he builds up to more challenging subjects.
Like what?
An eagle.
Wow, an eagle in flight.
Yeah, can you imagine capturing that majesty?
With just a pencil.
It's pretty incredible.
It shows the power of these techniques.
Right.
To create truly stunning images.
So we've got these amazing bonus modules,
Yeah.
but let's not forget the core value proposition here.
Learning to draw portraits.
Exactly. And it seems like Clark has thought of everything to make that journey as smooth as possible.
From the structured modules to the draw-along format
Yeah.
to the downloadable templates and the focus on confidence building.
It's like he's created the perfect environment for learning.
Totally supportive and inspiring.
And all of this comes at a price that's,
Okay.
well, let's just say it's surprisingly affordable.
I'm intrigued.
But before we reveal the price tag
Yeah.
and that tempting money-back guarantee,
Okay.
let's take a moment to reflect. What's resonating with you the most so far?
Well, honestly, I'm really impressed by the sheer amount of content.
Yeah.
And the fact that he includes all those bonus modules.
Yep.
It's like you're getting so much value for your money.
What about you? What's standing out to you?
I'm still really curious about those hyperrealism techniques. Like, how do you create drawings that look like photographs?
Yeah, that's a big question.
And I'm also wondering about the price.
Okay, well, let's get to it then.
I'm ready to hear more.
Yeah, it really does feel like a complete package.
Like, he's put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, and I love how it's not just about copying his style.
Right. It's about finding your own voice.
Exactly, and that's what I think makes this course so special.
It's empowering.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so let's talk about the price.
Okay.
Now, considering everything you get,
Yeah.
the instruction, the bonus modules,
Mm-hmm.
you'd think it'd be pretty expensive, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
But it's actually only $47.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah, pretty crazy, right?
That's a steal for all that content.
I know, it's like he wants to make art education accessible to everyone.
That's awesome.
And to top it all off, he offers a 60-day money-back guarantee.
Oh, wow. So you can basically try it risk-free.
Exactly. If you're not happy for any reason, you get a full refund.
That's a great deal.
It really
It
is.
shows that he believes in his course.
Totally.
Yeah.
So if you're listening
Yeah.
and you've always wanted to learn to draw,
Mm.
this is your chance,
Like, no more excuses.
right? There's no risk involved.
You could discover a new passion.
Exactly. So if you're ready to give it a shot,
Okay.
just click the link in the episode description.
That's easy enough.
It'll take you to the Pencil Drawing Made Easy website.
Cool.
You can learn more about the course there, watch some sample lessons,
Okay.
and maybe even sign up.
Sounds good.
Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next art prodigy.
You never know.
All right, so that wraps up our deep dive into pencil drawing made easy.
It was a fascinating one.
Thanks for joining us, and happy drawing.